Have you ever wondered why Jewish families are often associated with success, wealth, and financial resilience across generations? Jewish communities make up about 0.2% of the global population, but their influence on finance, business, and innovation is disproportionately massive. In this video, you're about to learn 14 Jewish money rules that can change your relationship with money forever, not just to get rich, but to build sustainable, ethical, generational wealth. Stick with me to the end, because number 6 will flip your whole mindset. Rule 1. Wealth is a responsibility, not a flex. In Jewish culture, money is never just money. It's not about showing off. It's about stewardship, a tool, a blessing that comes with obligations. The Torah doesn't glamorize wealth. It frames it as a trust, something given to you on behalf of your community, your family, and your future generations. That's why many successful Jewish entrepreneurs reinvest into schools, charities, hospitals, and mentorship. According to Jewish law, halakha, the concept of tzedakah, often mistranslated as charity, is actually a form of justice. It's not giving back because you're generous. It's giving forward because you're responsible. This mindset creates a very different relationship with money. It's not for flexing on Instagram. It's not for impulse buys. It's not about, look at me. It's, what legacy am I leaving? Ask yourself, do you own your wealth, or does your wealth own you? So, every time you get paid, ask, how can this money do more than just serve me? That single question will change your entire financial trajectory. There's a well-known story about Rabbi Zushia, a poor man who said he didn't fear being judged for not being like Moses or Abraham. He feared being judged for not becoming the best version of himself. That's the heart of this rule. Money isn't about status. It's about what you're doing with what you've been given. Rule 2. Teach money early. Talk money often. In many Jewish households, money isn't taboo. It's taught. It's talked about. It's normalized. Jewish parents often introduce financial concepts early, like allowance systems, saving goals, and even business ideas by the age of 10. Why? Because they know that money illiteracy is expensive. There's a well-known Talmudic principle. A father is obligated to teach his son a trade. It's not just about a skill, it's about independence, self-reliance. Compare this to cultures where money is a grown-ups-only topic, or worse, associated with guilt, fear, or shame. Studies show that children form money habits by age 7, and Jewish families often start shaping those habits before that. If you want generational wealth, you need generational literacy. Build a family culture where money is a normal, honest conversation, not a forbidden subject. Many Jewish kids grow up helping with the family business, even if it's just counting inventory or organizing receipts. It's not child labor, it's child literacy. Imagine the difference in mindset when, at 10 years old, you understand profit margins or what it takes to earn $1. Rule 3. Never rely on a single stream of income. Jewish history is a history of resilience, diasporas, forced migrations, persecution, and yet adaptability became a strength. One powerful result of this, Jewish families learned not to rely on just one job, one trade, or one location. They mastered the idea of multiple income streams way before it was trendy, regardless of the occupation. Be it tailoring, lending, goldsmithing, publishing, or retail. Many Jewish families built portfolio income out of necessity. Today, we call this diversifying your income. Warren Buffett, who is not Jewish but deeply respects this mindset, famously said, "Never depend on a single income. Even small secondary streams matter. Freelance work, real estate, online businesses, dividend stocks, selling a digital product. You don't need to become a mogul overnight. Just ask, how can I turn what I know into a second source of income?" Rule 4. Save with intention, not just guilt. Let's clear something up. Saving money isn't noble just because it's hard, and it isn't wise just because it hurts. In many cultures, saving is driven by guilt or fear, the what-ifs. But in Jewish financial tradition, saving is guided by direction, not denial. There's a big difference between compulsive saving and value-based saving. One is reactive, hoarding money just in case the sky falls. The other is proactive, saving with a purpose in mind for growth, for legacy, for empowerment. Saving is not about self-denial. It's about self-direction. Jewish families don't just hoard, they allocate. Every shekel saved has a purpose. It's not, I can't spend this. It's, I choose to save this for something bigger. This is why Jewish households often emphasize earmarked savings. A fund for education, a fund for tzedakah, giving, a fund for future investments, a fund for family emergencies. Not fear, but preparedness. Always remember this. When you save, label the account with its intention. Don't just open a savings account. Open a launch my business account, a build a home account, a help someone in need account. When your money knows where it's going, it grows with purpose, not pressure. Rule 5. Use money to buy time, not just things. Here's a truth most people miss. Money isn't just for buying things, it's for buying time. The Jewish mindset doesn't view wealth as an end. It sees it as a tool for freedom, for rest, for meaningful living. That's why so much of Jewish financial wisdom isn't about what you can own, but what you can escape from. One of the most powerful symbols of this is Shabbat, also known as the Sabbath. It's a 24-hour period where no one is working for survival. Phones are off, commerce stops. There's no buying, no selling, no hustling. It's a full pause, not just from work, but from the need to work. As Jewish tradition teaches, more than the Jews have kept the Sabbath has kept the Jews. It's a powerful reminder that time is sacred and wealth is meant to reclaim that time. So, what does that mean practically? Don't just work endlessly to afford nicer stuff. Work to create more free hours in your day. Pay for help if it frees up your focus or reduces burnout. Automate your finances so you spend less time stressing and more time living. Rule 6. Delay gratification, but do it strategically. You've heard this 1,000 times. Don't spend now, save for later. But here's the Jewish twist. Delayed gratification with purpose. Jewish money principles don't just say, sacrifice. They ask, what's the goal? That's why Jewish families often save not for stuff, but for education, land, business equity, marriage, and family growth. In Pirkei Avot, Ethics of the Fathers, there's a quote, "Who is rich? One who is happy with what he has." In other words, contentment is wealth. That's why Jewish financial culture is often focused on sustainability, not stunting. Do you want to build this habit? Then start setting goals with meaning like, I'm saving for my child's future education. This investment is for a future home. This delay funds my independence. Delayed gratification doesn't work when it's just about punishment. It works when it's connected to purpose. Rule 7. Community wealth over individual wealth. One of the most powerful Jewish financial philosophies is this: we don't win alone. We rise together. In Jewish communities from Brooklyn to Tel Aviv, you'll see this in action. Small businesses support each other, families pool resources, and there's a deep-rooted culture of mutual aid. Wealth isn't just mine, it's ours. A great example is the Gemach, a traditional Jewish free loan society. Imagine a community where you can borrow interest-free for things like weddings, education, or emergency needs, and then pay it forward for someone else. The concept is simple, but revolutionary. Reduce dependence on banks, protect people from bad debt, build trust through shared responsibility. Now ask yourself, who's in your economic tribe? Who can you support? And who can support you? The Jewish mindset shows us that true wealth is built in ecosystems, not in isolation. Rule 8. Give first, then receive. It might sound backward. Why give when you don't have enough yet? But in Jewish financial philosophy, giving is the seed, not the result of wealth. Tzedakah, charitable giving, is not optional. It's a duty. Even the poor are expected to give something because the act itself changes your mindset. When you give, you prove that you have. That doesn't just boost your self-worth. It strengthens your network, earns trust, and opens unexpected doors. Studies show that generous people are more likely to be seen as leaders and offered opportunities. And there's another Jewish idea here. Giving protects your wealth. The Talmud says that tzedakah saves from death. In more modern terms, it means generosity can shield you from isolation, greed, and bad karma. Therefore, before you increase your lifestyle, increase your giving, even if it's just 2%. Over time, you'll realize something powerful. You're never poor from giving. Rule 9. Invest in what you understand and control. Jewish investors are often seen as conservative, not because they avoid risk, but because they prefer clarity over hype. They tend to ask, do I understand this business? Can I influence the outcome? Is this aligned with my values? This goes back to a long tradition of avoiding speculation and gambling, both discouraged in Jewish law. The emphasis is on productive assets like land, education, tools, businesses, etc. That's why many early Jewish immigrants to America opened bakeries, tailors, and delis, some simple businesses they could control. Warren Buffett echoes this mindset. Risk comes from not knowing what you're doing. So next time someone pitches you a get-rich-quick scheme, ask yourself, is this investment transparent or just trending? Rule 10. Build before you buy. The Jewish mindset often leans toward value creation over consumption. Don't just buy the product. Think about how to build the product. Don't just wear the brand. Think about how to own the brand. This explains why so many successful Jewish entrepreneurs come from startup cultures like Sarah Blakely, founder of Spanx, Larry Page, Google, Howard Schultz, Starbucks. Although he is not Jewish, he was inspired by a model based on a sense of community which deeply resonates with Jewish business ethics. There's an old Yiddish phrase, "He who does not build will always depend on others." Here's a challenge for yourself. Next time you're tempted to spend on a status item, luxury clothes, designer tech, pause and ask, can I build something of value instead? Can I use this money to start, learn, or invest? It's not about guilt. It's about thinking like a builder, not just a buyer. Rule 11. Adapt or die financially. Jewish history is full of forced adaptation. Expulsions from Spain, pogroms in Russia, the Holocaust, and yet, wherever Jewish communities landed, they found ways to adapt economically. This gave rise to something we now call financial resilience. If one trade is blocked, learn another. If one market crashes, enter a new one. It's the opposite of victimhood. It's proactive, flexible, and resilient. Historian Thomas Sowell notes that the most economically successful groups are often the most adaptable. This is how entire Jewish neighborhoods rebounded after World War II, and how modern Jewish investors pivot during recessions. So, ask yourself, what new skill could protect me in a downturn? How quickly could I adapt if my current income ended tomorrow? Those who thrive in the future won't be the most talented. They'll be the most adaptable. Rule 12. Build generational memory, not just generational wealth. Let's be honest, money fades, but values don't. That's why Jewish families don't just pass down inheritances. They pass down stories, rituals, traditions, and wisdom. Ever heard of the Passover Seder? It's not just a dinner. It's a teaching moment across generations about slavery, freedom, resilience, and faith. The idea is simple. Don't just pass down the bag, pass down the blueprint. One tradition is the ethical will, a letter written to your children or grandchildren that outlines your beliefs, life lessons, and values. Imagine pairing that with a financial will. Now that's generational power. Start documenting your money values, your wins, your losses, your mindset shifts. One day, someone you love will thank you for it. Rule 13. Don't open a shop unless you know how to smile. This is a famous Jewish proverb. It may sound simple, even cute, but it's a serious financial principle. What it really means is, business is personal. In Jewish culture, success isn't just about what you sell, it's about how you show up. The face behind the business matters. Your energy is part of your brand. Jewish entrepreneurs across generations, from neighborhood bakers to Wall Street titans, have understood that trust is currency, and trust starts with approachability. A smile is more than just warmth. It's a business asset. Studies have shown that customers are far more likely to return to businesses where they feel welcomed, seen, and valued. And in tight-knit Jewish communities, reputation can make or break you. Word spreads fast, and so does goodwill. If you want to build sustainable income, especially in service, retail, or any client-based work, invest just as much in your presence as your product. Be kind, be professional, show up like someone worth doing business with. A good smile is sometimes better than a big sign. Rule 14. A man is not poor if he has knowledge. This is an old Jewish saying. Jewish families have lived by this principle for centuries. Why? Because money can be taken, jobs can be lost, markets can crash. But what you know stays with you and can be rebuilt, reused, and reinvested anywhere in the world. This mindset stems from generations of Jewish experience where displacement, persecution, and migration were common. Jewish families often couldn't rely on land or property, but they could rely on education, trade skills, and intellectual capital. In fact, rabbinic tradition teaches that the highest form of charity is helping someone become self-sufficient, and that starts with knowledge, not handouts. In many Jewish households, books are sacred, debates are encouraged, and children are taught that wisdom isn't a luxury, it's survival. Want to build lasting wealth? Don't just invest in assets. Invest in understanding, read financial books, learn a new skill every year. Surround yourself with people who challenge you intellectually. Because here's the truth. Knowledge compounds. It builds confidence, independence, and ultimately, financial freedom. And if everything else falls away, it's the one thing no one can repossess. You've just heard 14 powerful Jewish money rules. But here's the real question. Which one will your future self thank you for following? The goal isn't just to admire these rules, it's to apply them, one small shift at a time. Even if it's building a second income, having a money talk with your kids, or writing down your financial values, it starts today. And when you do, you're not just creating wealth, you're creating a legacy. Before you go, drop a comment below. Which of these rules did you wish you had learned earlier? And if you found this video interesting, share it. Teach someone else. The Jewish philosophy isn't about hoarding wisdom, it's about passing it on. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell. You've just learned timeless principles. Now let's make your wealth timeless too.